Hi, I'm Lisa from Lori's Country Cottage. Welcome to How Tuesday. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this fast and fun reversible poncho. All right, let's gather our supplies to make our reversible poncho. First up, you'll need 2 coordinating fabrics. It will be reversible, so one side will have this great print and the other side I'm going to have red and a nice plaid. These plaids are from Primitive Gatherings flannel, but any good quality flannel will work fine. I don't pre-wash mine. Good quality flannel should shrink equally, so the first time I wash my poncho, they will shrink in equal measure. You're going to need some good scissors. We're going to rag these edges. So I have my Karen K Buckley purple scissors. That's probably what I'll use for ragging. And then my blue scissors, of course, for all my other cutting. Coordinating thread, I'm going to use black for this project. I think it works for both. Of course, you'll need your regular sewing notions like pins, rotary cutter, and ruler. So our first step is to cut these 2 pieces, fabric A and fabric B, both of them to approximately 39 inches. Then I'm going to cut the selvages off and cut along the fold. So I have 2 pieces of each fabric. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll move on to step number 2. To cut along the fold, simply put your scissors in, slide it along, and cut along the fold. Do that for both pieces of fabric A and fabric B. All right, I've cut both of my fabric A and fabric B to about 39 inches, trim the selvages off both pieces, and then cut up the fold. Doesn't really matter what the width of those pieces are, just that they're the same, because as you see, I've taken one fabric A and one fabric B and put them wrong sides together and then repeated with the other 2 pieces. Now we're quilters, we're used to doing things right sides together, but this is wrong sides together. We are simply creating a piece of fabric for our poncho. So take a fabric A and a fabric B, put it wrong sides together, repeat with the other 2 pieces you have. I'm going to pin this and then stitch a 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around both pieces. And then we'll have 2 pieces of fabric to work with to make our poncho. All right, I've got my 2 pieces together, and now I have them on my cutting table. Place fabric A or fabric B right side up. I thought the black and white might be a little hard on your eyes, so I have the red side up. Place one of them horizontal, and then place your other piece vertical and overlap it by 2 inches. This edge matches, and this is overlapped by 2 inches. Now I'm going to go to my sewing machine, and I'm going to put on a narrow zigzag, and I'm going to stitch with a 1 inch seam allowance all the way around my horizontal rectangle. So just 3 sides, 1, 2, 3. When I'm all done, we'll come back and do some fancy folding to make a poncho. All right, let's do some fancy folding to make this poncho. Your first step is to put a pin in this corner and also a pin in the upper right-hand corner of the vertical piece. And eventually we're going to get those 2 pins to match. So do that first. And then I want you to take this whole piece and flip it upside down. There we go. So here's my yellow pin, and the other yellow pin is the upper left-hand corner now. Now go to your vertical piece and flip it down like this, line up your corner and get it to lie nice and flat. Here's my yellow pin. Here's my other yellow pin, and I'm going to get them to come together. And I want this to overlap 2 inches, just like we did with the last seam. And we're going to pin this seam. And make sure you pin down the whole length so things don't move. And now we're going to do some stitching. We need to stitch just like we did last time, but this time it is kind of twisted. So you need to start where your zigzag stitch stopped on the back. Stitch up with that 1-inch zigzag seam allowance. Come like this, across, stitch the 1-inch seam allowance like this until you get to the point of your other zigzag stitching. It's a little twisted, but do it one step at a time, and then you will have your poncho the right shape. Then we'll move on to the next step. All right, our stitching is done, but it's kind of hard to fold, a convoluted mess. Find your 2 overlapping seams. This is your neck hole. Grab the middle of those 2 seams and give them a shake. And then you'll be able to flatten your poncho out. There's your poncho. Now what do? Well, now it's time to rag the edges. So make sure you snip these overlapping seams plus the seams all the way around the neck and all the way around the bottom of the poncho. You'll be snipping through that 1/2 inch seam that you sewed to sew your A and B fabrics together, but that's okay. Just don't snip through your zigzag. That's what's holding it together. I'm going to use my Karen K. Buckley purple scissors. If you have made a rag quilt before and you have rag quilt scissors, you go ahead and use those. They have a shorter point, so less likely of you cutting into your stitches. When I'm all done snipping my fringe, and I snip about every inch, I'm going to wash it, and it's going to get all crinkly and soft, and then I'll have a beautiful poncho. So I'm going to start snipping my edges, and then I'll show you what that looks like when it's all done. All right, here's my poncho. I got it all snipped with my Karen K. Buckley purple scissors. Goes really fast. So make sure you do the whole bottom, around the bottom of the poncho, and then those overlapping seams, and don't forget to do both sides because it's reversible. And then do the neck hole up around. Now I'm going to go throw this in my washing machine, regular cycle. I'm putting it in the dryer. I like some heat on there to get all the shrinkage out in that first wash, and then my poncho is going to have great character. Thanks for joining me for How Tuesday. Here's the other side of the poncho. I love how versatile and warm and cozy they are. If you prefer to work from a pattern, we've got the pattern for you at the store. Thanks for joining me.